So you are thinking about purchasing new construction, but you're not quite sure if that's the route you want to go? Well, in this video, I'm going to walk you through 9 different things to consider before purchasing new construction. And if it sounds a little noisy in the back, no problem. That's because I'm actually on the job site here in a new construction neighborhood in Denton, Texas. I am Jennifer Fowler, and along with my husband and partner Brandon Fowler, we run Fowler Realty Team here in the North Texas area. If this is your first time to our channel, make sure you like, subscribe, and tap that bell for notifications so you can be the first to know everything there is to know, the good, the bad, and the ugly about living in the North Texas area. We get phone calls and texts, emails from people just like you all the time looking to make a move up or down to the North Texas area, and we absolutely love it. So if you're looking to move in 9 days or 9 months, give us a call, shoot us a text, or send us an email, and we would love to help you make that smooth move to the North Texas area. All right, well, let's get to it. So one of the first things you want to consider when purchasing new construction is you still need to have a realtor that is going to represent you. Because when you're purchasing new construction, the builder is representing themselves, but if you go in without a realtor, there is no one to represent you. And look, there are plenty of things that can go wrong on a new build or new construction. It's no different than a pre-owned home that someone built years ago. Well, this is a home that someone's building today. So you want to make sure that you have good representation, that you have someone in your corner that's looking out for you, someone that's going to advise you on what you need to do if something goes wrong. Do you need to get an inspection? How would you know to get one if you didn't have a realtor? Maybe a friend tells you, maybe they don't. I don't know, but it's always important to make sure you have a realtor when you are going to go through new construction, whether that's a small box like a custom builder or a big box builder. You need representation because, like I said, the builder is representing themselves. It's their contract that you're signing, and so you need someone to represent you. Another thing when considering new construction is the timeline. So a lot of homes these days, especially since 2020, they're going to be inventory or spec homes. These are homes that the builder has already started building with no buyer. The design has already been picked, the colors have already been chosen, the brick, the paint, the countertops, the carpet, the tile, everything has already been chosen. And then they will go up for sale. Actually, these homes can be sold at any time. You can go into the neighborhood and you can sign a contract, wait for that house to be built, and it's yours. Used to, a lot of homes were what we call true build or dirt build. You went, you picked out the lot, and you got to see it before plumbing was even installed. And you can still get that. It's not that you can't get that today. But because of just everything that happened with COVID and the supply chain and inventory issues, what happened was now builders are needing to order cabinets and carpet and brick. They're needing to order that more so in bulk than they were before, because as you can recall in 2020, it was taking months to get those things. In fact, used to you could wait 6 months to have a home built. Some were being built in less than that. But whenever 2020 and 2021 came around, people were waiting well over a year for a house to be built when it really should have just taken about 6 months. Now that number has gotten a lot better. Homes are going up much more quickly than they were in 2020. But I don't know that we're ever going to see that change now, where you really get to pick everything out like you used to. Yes, there are still lots, as you can see around me. There are lots here available, and you can go into the sales center and pick out a lot and still have a true build, but more than likely your home is going to have already been started in a new construction phase. Now, that's probably also more typical of the big box builders. If it's a custom home, obviously you're picking everything out. If it's a semi-custom home where you still get to go into the design center, then maybe you would get to pick out your lot in that case. But talking more typically with big box builders. Okay, let's talk about touring communities, touring neighborhoods where there's still construction going on, because you're obviously wanting new construction. So Always have your realtor with you when touring communities. There are some builders that if you go into their office and talk to them, they will not allow, if you do that without representation, without your realtor, they will not let you be represented. They will cut the realtor out. And I'm not a fan of that, because you need someone in your corner on your side looking out for you. So always let your realtor know, hey, I just drove by this community, I really like it. Let them know before you walk in, because if it's me and you call and tell me that, I'm getting in my car and I'm gonna go look at that neighborhood. So, because sometimes I'll even preview neighborhoods without my clients. So touring neighborhoods, always have your realtor with you. Secondly, wear closed-toed shoes. Do not wear your heels. I'm really bad at this. There's so many times where I just don't think I'm gonna be out and about looking at new construction, and inevitably I have on the wrong shoes. So have to keep tennis shoes in my car for that reason. But definitely wear closed-toed shoes, because there's nails, a lot of dirt. It could be muddy that day. So wear closed-toed shoes. So that's definitely something else you want to do when you're touring new construction neighborhoods. Okay, when purchasing new construction, you still need to get pre-qualified with a lender. Because otherwise you're just going to be looking at homes and you have no idea if you even qualify for it. And I'm telling you, looking at model homes is really, really fun. And when you walk into the model home, you're going to fall in love with it. And if you are above your price range, that's awfully disappointing when you have to go to a neighborhood with a lower price point. So, or maybe the price point that you are in doesn't exist with new construction. So you do want to make sure that you get pre-qualified with a lender first, and that's something that I always suggest to my clients. In fact, I always give my clients at least 2 lenders that I know, like, and trust, because I don't know if they're going to look at new construction or pre-owned. So that's just something we like to do up front. Okay, let's talk about the contract when it comes to new construction. So the contract with new construction, it's the builder's contract, okay? It's very sided to favor the builder. So you're going to want to make sure that you, your realtor, and the sales rep go over that contract with you very, very carefully. It's also can take time for the contract to be executed. That's what we kind of call official. That can take a few days, whereas pre-owned, once everyone signs, it's good, it's done. So you definitely want to make sure you go over the contract. And normally earnest money, which is basically a good faith estimate saying, hey, I intend to buy this home, is going to be a little bit higher with new construction than it is on a pre-owned home. On a pre-owned home, it's about 1% of the sales price, but on new construction, it can be, not always, but it can be more than 1% of the sales price. And there aren't outs really for the buyer in a new construction contract like there are pre-owned homes. There's a lot of outs for the buyer to get that money back. But on new construction, there's not. So you really need to be careful and read your contract and know what you're signing before you get yourself in a situation where you don't get your earnest money back. Okay, let's talk about upgrades. A lot of big box builders might offer an upgrade package. Maybe you could change the color or something like that. But a lot of them these days, when you go in the model home, what I like about that is what you see is what you get. What you see is standard. Used to, when you walk in a model home, everything in there was an upgrade. And of course, you're going to want what's in the model home. So you're gonna be paying for those upgrades. But I have noticed now a lot of the big box builders, when you go in the model home, what you see is what you get. However, you always want to ask to make sure, hey, is this tile floor that goes throughout the entire home? Is that an upgrade, or do all the houses have tile floor from the entry through to the kitchen and the living room? The backsplash, the way that this backsplash is installed, is that an upgrade, or do all the homes have that? So there's definitely things you need to ask and be on the lookout for when it comes to upgrades. Semi-custom homes, you do get to go into the design center and pick out your own tile, and they're gonna have standard pricing tile, and then of course they're gonna have upgrades. You really wanna be careful when you're doing that, because it's so fun and it's so pretty to go into the design center and pick out all these lovely things. Well, before you know it, even if you can afford it, before you know it, you've kind of priced your home out of the neighborhood. you put in so many upgrades that, first of all, it might not appraise, because you still have to have an appraisal with new construction. It might not appraise. And then if you go to sell that home in 5 years, you've put in so many upgrades that you might not get as much money as you think you're going to get for it, because you're pricing it too high for the other homes in the neighborhood just to get that money back. So be careful, know what kind of neighborhood you're in, know the resale value of that neighborhood, and be careful with the amount of upgrades that you do. Okay, let's talk about builder warranties when it comes to new construction. So most new construction homes, the builder will offer a warranty. They call it a 1, 2, 10 warranty. Year 1 covers pretty much everything in the home, okay? Year 2 is gonna cover your mechanical systems like plumbing, electrical, HVAC, and things like that. The 10-year warranty, where that comes in, is gonna be your structural warranty, like your foundation. But you really wanna make sure that you have that warranty in place, that you call and register for that warranty when they tell you to. And also, ask the builder, let's make sure that that warranty is transferable to another buyer. So when you go to sell that home in a few years, or however long, you're probably still going to be under that 10-year warranty. That's important. That's important to a lot of new buyers, to make sure that the foundation of the home is covered. So make sure you ask, or have your realtor ask, about the 1 to 10 warranty on new construction. Okay, this one is very important. We're going to talk about inspections for just a minute, and I'm inside this home right now. We can get a little reprieve from the heat. Plus, since we're talking about inspections, what a better place to be. So you are going to want to have a third-party inspection on your home. Yes, the city will have to permit along the way. The builders will do inspections as well. But remember, you need someone looking out for you that's not attached to this home, okay, or to this company. So we always recommend for our clients to get a third-party inspection of their home. You can do either a phase inspection, which is going to be at certain phases of the house. I know one of them is pre-drywall, so your plumbing is already going to be up, your electrical is already going to be in the wall. So there's different phases, or you can opt to have just a final home inspection. Either way, you need to have a home inspection. You know, sometimes we have people say, you know what, I don't need them. And to me, that's just not wise. You need to have a home inspection, someone else's eyes looking on your home, because even in new construction, every single home, there's going to be something on an inspection report. It's inevitable, it's going to happen. So get a home inspection from a third-party inspector. If you don't know one, your realtor should be able to suggest some very trusted people for home inspections. So make sure you do that as well. Whenever you do have the home inspection, what's going to happen is you're going to have the home inspected, and then you're just going to turn around and send that inspection report right to the builder. And hopefully they'll fix everything that's on the inspection report. So highly, highly, highly recommend that you always get a home inspection. A third-party inspection is what we call it, even with new construction. Okay, and the last one is closing costs. Yes, even with new construction, you will have closing costs. You'll still have to have a down payment just like a pre-owned, and you will have closing costs just like a pre-owned. Some new construction will pay for your title policy, which is awesome, but you still have closing costs, HOA fees, you've got prepaid insurance, taxes, prorated taxes, things of that nature. I will say a lot of new construction, the builder does offer what we call incentives to the buyers. So the one thing about that is, if you're going to get incentives, such as maybe, let's say, I know one builder right now is offering $9,000 toward your closing costs. Well, if you want to take advantage of that incentive, you do have to use their lender. So keep that in mind, that most of the incentives that are offered, you do have to go through their lender in order to receive. But sometimes they'll offer you a certain amount of money towards upgrades, or towards your closing costs, or maybe a free washer, dryer, and refrigerator, because those things are not included. In fact, blinds are not always included in new construction. So you need to be mindful of that as well. So incentives are great, but just keep in mind that you do have to use their lender more than likely in order to receive that. So while we're talking about closing costs, money, taxes, and things like that, okay, I'm gonna see if I can explain this, because the way the taxes work on new construction is when you enter into contract, basically when you close, you're being taxed your property tax, because here in Texas we have property tax. You're being taxed on the unapproved land. Okay, see this land behind me? Okay, this is unapproved land. There's no house on it. Okay, so your first year, you're gonna pay tax on only that. Okay, but there is a home on it now. You're living in that home. So what's gonna happen is you're gonna get a tax bill at the end of the year saying, okay, you only paid taxes on dirt. We want all of our money. We want our taxes on the improved property. So when you go to closing, hopefully that closing officer will tell you, which is another reason why you need to have a realtor, because they should know this as well, and they need to tell you this as well. Your payment for the first year is going to be lower than what it actually should be. So you can do one of two things. You can send in a couple of $100 extra a month to cover that bill that's coming. You're going to want to make sure you tell your bank or whoever your service provider is where to put that money, because if you don't, they're going to put it wherever they want to. They could put it towards the principal, and you're not going to get that money back. So you can pay extra on the home. Basically, for the first year, instead of paying that low mortgage, you're going to pay what it should be, okay? But you're going to designate where the extra money goes to. It goes towards your escrow, okay? Escrow is where they hold the money, they hold taxes, and then they pay it when the bill comes. Or you can just set it aside in savings, and you can earn the interest on it. If you're disciplined enough to do that, go for it, do it. And so when that bill comes in the mail saying, hey, you've been paying taxes on unapproved land, but you've been living for a year on improved land, we want our money. So when that bill comes, you've got the money, it's in your bank, no problem. But I just want to make you aware of that, because hopefully whatever lender you use will let you know that your house payment is actually going to be, $2,000 a month or $2,500 a month or $3,000 a month, whatever it is. However, your first year, that's not what you're going to be paying. It's going to be lower because you're being taxed on dirt. But you've been living in a beautiful house, and they're going to want their money. So keep that in mind as well when you are purchasing new construction. Okay, so those are some very important steps. Those are some very important things to consider when you are wanting to purchase new construction. If you have any questions about any of this, please reach out to us. We would love to help you. We would love to help answer any questions you have. Or if you're just considering making a move to the North Texas area, we'd love to help you with that as well. Make sure to check out some other videos on our channel, and we'll see you on the next one.